If you've ever gone camping and put together a tent or maybe some other kind of temporary structure, you might have seen at least the button part of this piece of hardware here. And this is a tent pole clip. And in those situations, as you've used it, you've probably pressed this button down and then telescoped or quickly released a small pole for a tent or something like that. And basically, you can do that same thing in your EMT conduit builds to make a build easy to take apart and put back together. And originally, this idea was shared a while back from Jonathan, who made a canopy, as you can see, for his toy hauler deck. And we talked about this idea back then. We did a video, and we really showcased the solution in a telescoping way, where you have two holes in the conduit, and then you press the button down, slide down the conduit, and then you can telescope. In that video, we showed how Randy used the clips for telescoping in his bird feeder mount, as well as how Christopher used them for his motorhome bed, and also how Matthew used them for adjustable banner frames for his road racing timing business. But recently, Bob shared his outdoor movie projector screen frame, and he used this idea to make it really easy to put together. You know, it's Friday night, you're with the family, and you're like, oh, let's do an outdoor movie tonight. So you just put together this frame super fast. And really, the way this works is the same way that it would with your tent or whatever it may be. And you just drill a hole in EMT conduit. And the way that Bob did it, he had 3/4 inch EMT conduit, as you can see here, in a very similar manner inside of the T connector. And then he had a piece of 1/2 inch EMT with the tent pole clip that then went inside of this and clamped in place. And I think that's a great solution, but you could also do it where you have a larger pipe, let's say 1 inch EMT conduit, that sits on the outside of the 3/4 inch EMT and then sits flushly against the T connector. I think that looks really clean and does the same kind of functionality, but just looks really nice. And basically the way this works, you can get these. These are really inexpensive pieces of hardware, and I'll link these specific ones down below. But you just kind of have to spring them back a bit and push them in, and then use something to kind of push them in there until it lines up with the hole. And it's going to be kind of fun to finagle this here. But you just push it in until it lines up and then pops out of the hole here, just like that. And so just like with the tent pole, you press that button in, but in this case, we're going to press that button and slide the 1 inch EMT over it. And as you can see, we've got the 1 inch EMT secured here, and it's held in place by this tent pole. Then you can finish putting together your build. Now, as you can see, there is a little bit of slop in here, so it might be helpful to put a shim in here, or you can do what Bob and Jonathan did, which is just use the smaller pipe inside of the 3/4 inch. But this is a really cool solution. It'd be really useful for easily taking apart and putting together builds. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like and consider subscribing, and we'll see you in the next video.